In today's healthcare system, it's already overburdened. There's a lot of waits, there's not enough staff and beds. So what will it look like in 20 years? In 20 years, 1 in 5 people will be over the age of 65. We will witness an unprecedented, profound age shift. The number of residents of 65 and older will multiply threefold of the current 300,000 to 900,000 by 2030. This poses a huge problem for Singapore. How will we take care of our citizens? How will we provide healthcare for everyone? We need to change. We need to design that change. We need to do it now. At Singapore Polytechnic, a passionate group of people are dedicated to help Singapore solve this problem. An interdisciplinary team including engineers, scientists, IT specialists, and designers are working on a project together called the Innovation for Healthy Aging. The team will use design thinking process to develop human-centric innovation for long-term care in Singapore. To kick off this project, we've had a Future Vision workshop at Singapore Polytechnic. At the workshop, we had over 40 guests, including doctors, therapists, innovation specialists, engineers, and designers, all working together to try to think of opportunities of the future of healthcare in Singapore. We started by examining emerging future trends. The groups then used creative ideating, foresight, and techniques to help predict how healthcare might be improved in the future. We need to work together as a community to solve this problem. We need to have one vision where everyone can work towards. We need to choose the right path. The scenario is meant to inspire and to create dialogue in the community. Meet Mary. She's 70 years old. She has lived in Singapore for her whole life. She's now a widow who lives alone. Mary wants to maintain her independence as she ages in place. She has a housemate who helps her do this. She just doesn't want to be a burden on anyone. Her family is busy, and she doesn't see them as often as she would like. Mary's health has been declining for the past few years. She has a few chronic illnesses, such as arthritis and diabetes. Last year, Mary had a stroke. It took 2 hours until her maid came to her house and found her on the floor. Significant damage had already been done. Mary was rushed into the ambulance to the hospital. The doctors did surgery on her and saved her. She spent 2 days in acute ICU care. She then received 6 days of rehabilitation in the hospital room, sometimes in her bed and sometimes outside of the bed. And she spent 1 month in inpatient clinic rehabilitation care, then the hospital. After this month, Mary was sent home. She was instructed to go to community care clinic 2 times a week. She did this for approximately 4 months. However, Mary stopped showing signs of improvement. She has lost motivation. She is then labeled as a lost cause and been sent home to do her exercises there. Her maid was trained to help her in these exercises. Mary attempted to do exercises at home, but it was extremely difficult. After a few months, Mary fell. She was rushed into the ambulance, back to the hospital, into an emergency ICU where they fixed her hips. However, after this hospital visit, Mary was sent to the nursing home because she is no longer able to care for herself at home. "20 years from now, Jane, Mary's daughter, is 72 years old. Jane lives alone in her new HDB flat. The flat is designed specifically for the needs of elderly and the disabled. However, you're never able to tell by looking at it. The new HDB flats are modern and stylish. Yet they have certain design aspects that are appropriate for older citizens, such as safe floors and proper sitting heights. The new HDB flats are also smart living spaces. On a leisurely Sunday morning, Jane is watching her smart television. The television is one way where she can stay connected with her community. The television displays the community events, what her friends are doing in the events they're attending, as well as sales around her area and amenities she has programmed into her personalized television. Jane hears a subtle beep. She feels a light buzz and looks down at her wrist. This device tells her that her sugar level is low. Jane heads to the kitchen to get herself a snack. As she approaches her fridge, she sees her daily menu on the fridge door. She now knows the perfect snack to have to help her lower her blood sugar and keeps her healthy. Her fridge also notified her that she is low on skim milk and blueberries. It prompts her if she would like to order these items, and Jane does so easily and quickly. Jane hears television noise from the other room. The television tells her that her friends Joel and Samantha, her good friends, have just arrived at the common area B of the building. Jane prompts the television to tell her friends that she'll be there in 5 minutes. Then at the common area, Jane is sitting down and talking to her friends. She tells her friends that the care system has been telling her that her sugar level is low, and that she's not sleeping very well lately, and this really concerns her. As the friends agree that they had similar warnings sometimes, Jane then tells them that this morning her care system recommended that she talk to her care coordinator. Back upstairs, Jane calls Bev, the care coordinator, on the television. Bev tells Jane that she was expecting her call. She then gave Jane her full health report from the care system. Bev, the care coordinator, tells Jane because of her and her family's medical history, suffer of diabetes and stress, that she should have a doctor's visit. Jane agrees that Bev sets up a doctor's office. The doctor came to Jane's house and treats her there. 1 year later, alert, alert! Care system has detected an odd movement. The care system promptly asks Jane if she's feeling okay. Jane replies that she's not feeling well at all today. The care system then dials the care coordinator, Bev, on the television. Just as Bev was asking Jane what's wrong, Jane falls. Immediately, Jane's family and the hospital are notified. Jane has pre-selected her emergency contacts on those who to be notified, just in case of emergency. These notifications go directly to a cloud network. The network immediately sends this notification to these people she has selected, along with any other information that is important to treat her condition. 10 minutes later, the hospital on wheels arrive at Jane's house. They treat Jane right inside a van, and they have all the equipment they need for her condition. Shortly after, Jane is back on her own bed with her family by her side, along with her care coordinator, Bev. Jane has a therapist come to her house and do a therapy with her at the bedside. Jane also had the option to do tele-rehab. She can interact with her therapist over television and do exercises at home. She can also do group rehabilitation with her peers. Jane also decides to join National Farming Rehabilitation Center, where she gets to meet new people, be outside and pick flowers for a rehab. She's quite happy with her progress and is motivated to keep on exercising.